Hi, folks. This is Alex Jones. I'm looking for people that have the wisdom to spot savings, opportunity, and recognize risk. Saving means to make money. The Cal Ben Pure Soap Company can save you thousands of dollars and give you good old-fashioned real soaps that are triple concentrated and twice as good as what you're using now. Soaps made from vegetable and coconut oils that contain no useless dyes, perfumes, deodorants, or antibacterials. Your risk is the hundreds of hazardous toxic detergents that give you rashes, itching sores, and deteriorating clothing called lint. If you want something better, if you want something you've never had before, you have to do something you've never done before. Getting a free catalog is easy by calling 800-340-7091 or see Calvin on the web at 5starsoap.com. Take charge of your health now by calling 800-340-7091 or see Calvin on the web at 5starsoap.com. Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As we're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
They have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at PrisonPlanet.tv. Hi, this is Alex Jones. This holiday season, more than half of our nation is in need of help due to the shattered economy. So now is the time to express the holiday spirit more than ever. Consider helping those you love with the most important gift, a supply of delicious, easy-to-fix, and very storable foods from eFoodsDirect.com. Their holiday gift and family packs start at $99 for a 16-day supply, while their 5-week supply of quick and easy-to-fix meals includes a personal backpack in case of a grab-and-go emergency. Order their combo gift pack, and you'll save hundreds, plus get free shipping on your entire order. Call eFoods today at 800-409-5633 or visit them online at eFoodsDirect.com/Alex to find the special. That's 800-409-5633 or eFoodsDirect.com/Alex. You can bet your life on eFoods Direct. Okay, we've got police officers calling in. We've got military people calling in. I know that obviously you gentlemen and ladies are normally working during the weekday show. Weekday show is probably twice as big as the Sunday show, but I still love the Sunday show. It reaches over 1 million people, about 1.5 million or so. But I've always noticed during the weekday broadcast, it's harder to get police and military to call in because they're working. But we do have one current serving military, and one police officer on hold. I'm going to get to you here in just a moment. But others need to call in. You need to call in if you're on your donut break or whatever. And you need to get past the fear that, oh, my gosh, you know, this is all data-based, which it is. We need to be honest about that. You know what? If you get fired because they've got a database and you called into a talk radio show when you were off work. See, that just illustrates what I'm talking about. Of course, the truth is it just goes into a database. We need to be honest about how much trouble this country's in. Only by being honest about it can we turn this around. It's your First Amendment right, but it does show the chilling effect that's out there today. 800-259-9231 is the toll-free number to join us. Okay. Let me just go over the news I have today. I mentioned this yesterday when it was in the New York Times, and I was expecting this to happen Because when Fast and Furious came out earlier in the year, CBS 60 Minutes did a whitewash and said it was a few gun shops where they allowed guns to be sold to cartels to track them. Of course, it turned out it was already in federal court. That's why CBS did the whitewash, that they were shipping tens of thousands of guns into Mexico, Honduras, but also Illinois, Indiana, California, Texas, Florida, to drug gangs to kill the competition that didn't launder its money through globalist banks. And it's all on record, the big banks laundering hundreds of billions a year. You want an example? You're a new listener? Wachovia, Wells Fargo last year admitted they laundered $376 billion in 2 years. Okay, it's a $500 billion a year, but that was their cut. And they didn't get any trouble for it. You know, there's a federal regulation that allows foreign drug dealers to invest in the stock market. The head of the New York Stock Exchange back in '99, Richard Grasso, I have the Reuters article somewhere around here. I've done shows on it. He went and was photographed with the head of the FARC saying, invest with us all your cocaine money or we'll have you invaded. The head of the FARC said no. It took him a year to kill him, but they did bomb him and kill him. And, of course, U.S. Special Forces went in, and they've got GPS planes that spray only the coca fields they don't own. It was a giant covert invasion to try to keep the prices up. Oh, you bet our military's there to enforce a $500 billion a year drug traffic into this country. Marijuana, cocaine, and heroin. They really hate methamphetamine because they can't control it. That's something the local police make money off of. Yeah, I see cases where sometimes little bitty towns have 20, 30 meth labs. Oh, and the police don't know. Of course, it'll also fry your brain and absolutely kill you. Speed kills. All this stuff's horrible. I'm not endorsing it. I'm just saying you make this stuff illegal, and it allows massive profits to corrupt your police, which is the plan. It's how the British took down the Chinese. Study the Opium Wars. It's mainline history. The Chinese were dumb enough to make drugs illegal, and the British said, we're taking over. And within 50 years, they had the whole country under their control by corrupting police, taking control of organized crime. All right, I said I'm going to your calls. See, I preface this. U.S. agents launder drug money report. French news agency. And this was in, again, New York Times yesterday. But, they laundered the drug money and the drugs to track it, to understand it, it says. Citing unnamed current and former federal law enforcement, the newspaper said the agents primarily with the Drug Enforcement Agency have handled shipments of hundreds of thousands of dollars in illegal cash across borders. It said they did it to understand how the criminal operations move the money. Oh, they did it to understand. Oh, Satan consorted with demons in the pit of hell to learn how demons operate. Jeffrey Dahmer kidnapped children and tortured them and raped them to find out about serial killers. No. Unbelievable. I mean, this is like in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. And in the 20s during Prohibition, J. Edgar Hoover would go on radio and newsreels and then TV and say, there's no organized crime. It does not exist, because they would only bust small people delivering bathtub gin and money that wasn't part of a larger gang. I mean, if you were trying to make your own whiskey or moonshine, and this is on record, and weren't laundering it through the Kennedys and the Capones and Bugsy Siegel and all the rest of them, and the Rockefellers, they were the real kingpins over it all. Go research it. They would send police, the Untouchables. The Untouchables would come out to your shack and kill you. The ATF was the original whiskey regulators, going back to post-Civil War, and the whiskey rebellion over the tax. The FBI and people and ATF, the whiskey regulators, they weren't coming and fighting gangsters. They'd come to your farm in the Depression if you were brewing whiskey to try to survive and sell it in the city, and they'd line you up and blow you and your entire family's heads off. Go research it. They'd line them up, ma, pa, everybody with a Tommy gun and just kill you. Yeah, that's the kind of country we live in. That's what you do by making liquor illegal. 3 times the alcohol. Okay, I'm preaching here. 3 times the alcohol use. Go research it. Don't believe me? Go look the numbers. Under Prohibition, under 9.5 years of it. Totally corrupted the police, corrupted all. Organized crime exploded. And then at the end of that, they said, we got to make drugs illegal. We got to have something new here. All right. We've got that. Look at this. U.S. agents launder drug money report. See, it's all coming out. It's been in the federal court cases forever, but it's coming out. Feds may give loans to IMF to help Eurozone paper. They've been giving their subsidiary banks in Europe. See, that whole headline out of Reuters is a headline. It's not the Fed. It's not federal. The name is a lie. May give loans to the IMF. It's not loans. It's 0 or minus interest loans, which they then loan out at 20, 30, 40% to governments and individuals to help Eurozone. And the other lie is they've already been giving it to them. And they're not giving it to somebody else. They're giving it to themselves. I mean, how many lies can you get in a headline? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are at least 6 lies in that headline. Talk about a tissue, a fabric of fraud. This is what we live under. And the average person is helpless at that level of deception. How do you unravel something that is a complete lie? They're already doing it. The Federal Reserve is at federal. It's giving it to its own subsidiary. And it just goes on and on. Look at this article. I knew what was going to happen last week whenever it came out that the 85-year-old woman in a wheelchair was taken behind closed doors and strip searched. Had her clothes taken off. I knew they would come out and say it wasn't true, and they did. Then when pressed, they said, we don't call it a strip search. See, when they grab your genitals or they take you behind closed doors and strip you down, it's not sexual assault. It's not a strip search. And lo and behold, Lenora Zimmerman outrages TSA, denies its strip search 85-year-old Long Island grandmother. And then there's another one here where other women, another elderly woman says she was exposed at the same airport, Kennedy Airport, where I had them, by the way, rob something out of my bag. I bought a couple little Tiffany things for my middle daughter. And they just opened up the packages and stole one of them. It's only worth about $80, $90, but they stole it. I mean, that's how America, and you know what? I knew not even to say anything. Because I'm a scum citizen. And if they want to steal a Tiffany silver teething ring, good for the babies to chew on silver, it's why I got it. If they want to do that, that's just a little added goody good. You see? I'm a scumbag. I'm not allowed. All right, I'm going to the police phone calls. I'm going to shut up now. The Iran situation's off the chart. They're threatening to shut down the Strait of Hormuz. It'll send oil conservatively $200 a barrel. You like $7 a gallon? That's what you're going to get. U.S. sources now say Iran has missing U.S. drone after denying it. It's now admitted what we told you years ago, that the West blows stuff up every week in Iran. It's all admitted. It's just not on the news. That's now being admitted. We're going to get to that. It's all crazy. Right now, let's go to your phone calls. I appreciate you holding. Who's been holding the longest? Dale is a police officer in Illinois. Then we'll go to bunch of military people. Adam is a police officer in Michigan. We have a cop in Washington, police officer. We're going to get to all those, a bunch of military people. I'm going to go to you right now, and I'm going to try to shut up, have you make your point, and then I'm going to go to the next person, because you know how my brain works. I never shut up. Let's go ahead and talk to Dale in Illinois. Dale, welcome.
Hello, Alex. Hey, by the way, it's the Soviet Socialist Republic of Illinois. Anyway, that's what we call it. I'm a 26-year vet police officer. I'm not going to tell you where, but I guess it doesn't really matter, but it's Central Illinois. If it was up to us, we wouldn't have Chicago in the state, but it's not up to us. Long story short, we've got a bunch of guys that, and we got like a phone chain. If by some chance one of us is at the station, and or let's say I'm at the station, we get the guy in the suit comes in and says, you're going to do this, that, and the other. One phone call from me generates probably about 35 phone calls in about 30 seconds, you know. And as far as firearms are concerned, if you're going to buy them, learn to use them. It ain't going to do you a bit of good to have a pistol sitting there or a rifle or whatever, because all that's going to do is get you in trouble.
I agree with you. Let me ask you a question, Dale, again, a police officer from Illinois. Is anybody that you're talking to concerned about them saying, we're going to use the military, we're going to put TSA on the streets, they're now doing it, We're going to have telescreens everywhere saying spy on your neighbors. It's like they went and got a dystopic science fiction movie and said, let's make it reality. It's like 1984 on steroids, and we're going to allow citizens to disappear into black holes. Have police realized that once that starts, it doesn't give people any recourse but to absolutely resist? I mean, are police realizing how the globalists are